Low calorie, completely guilt-free, healthy carrot cake cupcakes. So today you're gonna need 5 figs, and I actually bought these from Trader Joe's. You can get them at most grocery stores. Or you can use dates if you can't find figs anywhere. We're gonna do 4 egg whites and 1 egg. In this measuring cup, we have 3/4 of a cup of protein powder. You can really use any brand that you like. We have a Cinnabon flavor here, which goes really well with the carrot cupcakes. A full cup of unsweetened almond milk. Again, we bought this at Trader Joe's. It's our favorite brand. Highly recommend it. Some cinnamon, stevia extract. You can use the liquid extract, or you can use the granulated sugar kind that measures like sugar. Carrots. I have baby carrots just because we had some left over, so I'm going to use those. You can use full carrots, or you can just get the matchstick carrots at the grocery store. Some vanilla, some cloves, you can also use nutmeg, baking powder, and over here we have oat flour, 1/2 of a cup. So to start, we're going to take 5 figs, and I like to get the little stem off. So I just pinch it and remove it. So put 5 figs in a food processor, or you can use a high-powered blender. I don't recommend using, you know, the kind you bought at Target. But if you have, say, a Vitamix or a Blendtec, one of those really high-powered ones that act pretty much like a food processor, you can use that. Otherwise, you will need a food processor, or just go for it and use your blender. But hey, if you break it, not my fault, I warned you. Put 5 of those in there, and then we're going to go ahead and crack our eggs into here. So again, 1 full egg. And then we're going to do 4 egg whites. Uh-oh, I'm messing up already. Try not to get any eggshells in there if possible. So from there, you're just going to put the top on and turn this bad boy on. So you really only want to pulse it for a little bit just to break up all of the figs in there if you're using dates, whatever you're using today. And then once that's pretty much done, go ahead and take the lid off, and then we're going to throw the carrots in there. So this is why it doesn't really matter if you have big carrots or little baby ones like I do, or even the matchstick. If you do have the matchsticks, you don't need to put it in the blender. You could just chop them a little. And if you do have giant carrots, I recommend cutting them into smaller pieces. So go ahead and dump that into your food processor or blender and put the lid back on. And we're going to process this again for another 30 seconds to a minute. From here, we're going to transfer this into a bowl and mix in the other ingredients. So go ahead, pour that into your bowl, and make sure you get everything out of there, including the plate. That might drop into your bowl. You know what? This is real life. I am not in a film studio. I am in my home filming this for you. So mistakes like that might happen because it is real life, and you know what? I like to laugh about it because it makes life interesting. So go ahead and take that giant blade out of your bowl. Put that in the sink, and then we're gonna add our other ingredients. So if you want, I personally never do this. This is also a secret of mine. I know most recipes tell you to mix the dry ingredients first and then add the wet, but I don't do that. I kind of just throw it all in, and guess what? It turns out the same. I just make sure I mix it really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add the protein powder in, 3/4 of a cup, the 1/2 of a cup of oat flour, add that in, and then we do need a full cup of unsweetened almond milk, or if you want to use regular milk, that's fine. And then go ahead, pour that in. A full teaspoon of vanilla extract. I really like this vanilla extract. It's an organic vanilla from betterbodyfoods.com, I believe. So we're gonna do a full teaspoon of that, and I like how it has like a little pour spout like that. Check it out. A full 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm gonna add in just a little bit of cloves, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. So sprinkle that on top. And then you do need a full teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm not gonna measure it just because it's a pain. I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top, about a teaspoon worth. And then the last thing is Stevia. Again, I said before, you can use the liquid kind, or you can use baking stevia, which is granulated like sugar. And usually the conversion rate is, if you have 1 full cup of sugar, you'd use half the amount. So you would use half of a cup of stevia. I normally like to use that for a recipe like this. You know, with these, it really is strong, so you don't need much. They say like 5 drops is a serving, so for something like this, you might want like 10 to 15 drops. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there, and it is already sweet from the figs and the protein powder, so you don't need much. Then, we're just gonna mix it all together. All right, this looks pretty good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and pour this into our cupcake pan and put it in the oven. How exciting. So I'm just using 1/4 of a cup to scoop out some of the batter and place it into each cupcake holder. You do want to fill it about 2/3 of the way, so not all the way because it will rise. We do have a frosting, healthy frosting with no added sugars to top this with when they come out of the oven. If you can make healthier versions of your favorite foods, that's really what it's all about. That's when it becomes a lifestyle for you, and you don't worry or stress about, oh my gosh, the holidays are coming up and there's so much good food and I feel like I can't eat it. Just make a better version. And now we're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes in your preheated oven to 350. Now that your cupcakes are in the oven, I like to just go ahead and make the frosting, and you can put it in the fridge, let it solidify and harden up just a little bit so that it's not really runny. If yours does turn out runny, it can kind of firm up in the fridge before we frost the cupcakes. So for the frosting, you're gonna need some Greek yogurt, some mascarpone cheese. This is optional. You can use cream cheese, up to you. A little bit of protein powder, about 1/4 of a cup. That is also optional, but I find that adding in a little bit of protein makes it a little bit thicker and sweeter, and it's really nice. And then again, some stevia extract, as much as you want, just to taste, probably 5 to 10 drops if you're using the liquid kind. I'm gonna go ahead and put in a full cup of Greek yogurt. Go ahead and spoon out your Greek yogurt. And then we're going to add in just a tablespoon or 2 of the mascarpone cheese. It has 6 grams of fat per tablespoon and 1 gram of protein, 0 grams of carbs. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of this into my bowl over here. Sprinkle in my 1/4 of a cup of protein. I'm going to add that a little bit at a time, so I'm not going to add the whole thing. About, I'd say 8 drops of stevia extract. Mix this all together. So you might take a little bit to make sure you mix all the mascarpone cheese in there. So it's nice and even. So it really turns into this thick, creamy frosting that really tastes so delicious. And again, I am using a Cinnabon flavored protein powder, which is why you see all those little specks in there. It's from the protein powder. So once it's all thoroughly mixed, I'm just gonna go ahead and cover this and put it in the fridge until the cupcakes are done baking and cooled before we use the frosting. So I'm showing you the other side of my kitchen. I just flipped over on the other side because I'm really excited about my new table, and I just painted. You got this awesome chandelier, and it's just so pretty. So pretty, I'm gonna die. My dad and boyfriend actually built the table, and it's really special to me. So you'll be seeing that in a lot more videos coming up. Anyway, side track. I just pulled out my frosting out of the fridge, and it's so thick and looks amazing. It's seriously delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead, these are nice and cool already. I'm gonna frost these just one at a time, putting about, a tablespoon or 2 on each one. The best part about these cupcakes is they're absolutely delicious and under 100 calories a piece. So you get a lot of bang for your buck over here. So just go ahead and frost each one of these, putting a little bit on each one. And if you don't eat all of these at, the time you're frosting them, do store them in the refrigerator, because your frosting will go bad if you leave them out on the counter. If you like this recipe, leave a comment below and tell us, because we love hearing from you. Be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel and enjoy these delicious carrot cupcakes this Easter. See you next time.